Welcome back. Can I say that though? Because this is kind of our first episode. What do you think?
It is the first episode, so
It is the first episode, but we still welcome him back because maybe people, and again, there he goes touching the microphone.
know,
I
it's
just
my
told
bad.
him not to do that, and he's over here whack, whack, whack. Welcome to the first episode, and it's not really even the first, kind of the intro.
Yep.
Welcome to Straight from the Agent podcast.
yes, sir.
And you would be
Connery Calkins.
Connery Calkins, and I am Johnny B. Good, the flip-flop agent. And we're both agents. Oh, let's just get this right off the bat. One of my biggest pet peeves when people talk about our profession, and now I just hit the microphone, of course.
Jackass.
Yes, exactly. Is everybody's like, oh, you're a realtor.
It's Realtor.
Oh my God, that is such a hot button issue. You've got to stop saying realtor. And I even hear people,
Agents say it.
agents in our
Yes.
industry, realtor. I'm like, what are we? No,
Realtor.
we are a realtor. Realtor. I'll even take the ER instead of the OR.
Yeah.
I don't care. But realtor is driving me insane. So anyway, now that I've got that off my chest, that's a great place to start. So we are both agents at Remax Edge.
Yep.
Here in Genesee County. So I know that you serve all sorts of areas across the mid-Michigan, southern Michigan area. So where do you predominantly do most of your work at?
Predominantly, it is Genesee County, along with Saginaw County.
You do a lot in Saginaw as of
I do
late.
a lot in Saginaw. But also, I do a little bit of everything. I have a listing right now in West Branch. I've sold some
Nice.
in Houghton Lake, Charlevoix, all over the place.
You're putting in that windshield time.
Yeah.
Good for you. Well, and this is great. Anybody else is putting in windshield time. This is a great opportunity to listen to a couple of dopes talk about real estate.
Yeah.
So welcome. So I much like you, I live in Davison, work in the Davison office. I do a lot of work in Genesee and Lapeer County.
Yep.
Obviously we just closed a deal down in North Oakland County, down in Oxford.
Yep, we did.
Which was great. So yeah, I'm a little bit more of a homer in that regard.
Right, yeah.
I'll make the drive. I've had listings over in Port Huron. I've had them in Lansing. I've had them way up in Saginaw as well, all the way downriver in Melvindale. You
Okay.
kind of go where the business takes you, right?
Oh, 100% if you want to make money.
That's right. And we don't ever want to go out of our way to not take the business.
Yeah.
So if the opportunity presents itself, and that goes for anybody in the state of Michigan, if you're looking for some pretty decent agents, I might look elsewhere. But if
Yeah.
you can't find anything elsewhere, you can definitely talk to us. So what's kind of the genesis behind why you wanted to do this? We talked about it for a while, but what's really the driving force behind it, in your opinion?
So, my opinion, I'm an avid podcast listener.
Same.
There is I have yet to find a solid podcast that is local to Michigan, direct from the agents to the consumer.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of podcasts where it's agents to agents.
Sure.
Agents trying to sell a course to other agents.
Sure.
Which is fine and dandy, but you'd be surprised of how many people don't know the first thing when it comes to buying or selling a home.
Yes.
Which is fine because it's our profession. It's like me.
Right.
I don't know the first thing about law or being a doctor.
Right. Exactly. And I think you hit the right point there in that it's okay that you don't know. As a consumer, you don't know, and that's why you have professionals.
Yep.
You have the subject matter experts, and that's what we want to do is be able just to inform you. Very rarely does anybody just make the decision like, hey, I'm going to go buy a house today.
Yep.
That shit looks like fun.
Yeah. It's not.
It's not. And it's a very stressful process. And the average consumer, they move, I think the most recent data said like every 7 years.
Yeah.
If you're only doing something once every 7 years, you're not going to be an expert at it.
Yeah.
And in our industry, things are obviously changing all the time, depending on the time of year, the market, economic conditions, interest rates. There's just so many factors that play into it. So even if you did consider yourself an expert 7 years ago, everything's changed.
Yep.
The
100%.
basics might still be there, but there's so many nuances and different things where having agents like you and I that are kind of in the mix,
Yep.
we're in this 7 days a week, all the time. We're always out talking with clients. We're meeting with clients. We're meeting with buyers and sellers, lenders, home inspectors, the entire spectrum of people and the teams that it takes to get to the finish line.
Yep.
So how are we gonna have these conversations? Because nobody wants to sit around and just say, oh, I have 60 minutes that I'm just gonna dedicate to Johnny and Connery to listen to them babble on about real estate.
Right.
So what's the way in which we're gonna talk to the consumers?
So what I'm thinking is we're gonna do short 5 to 10 minute episodes.
Yes.
We have a list of questions that are very common for the home buying process and a list of questions that are very common for the home selling process.
Oh, perfect.
We'll just once a week we'll answer some questions. It won't take more than 5 or 10 minutes of your time. And then if you guys ever submit questions via comments or emails to us, then we'll go ahead and answer those questions as well.
Oh, that's perfect. So every week we're going to sit down and we're going to take, what do we have? Like they're all just written out and sitting in a hat?
Yep.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I love that.
Exactly.
So taking me back to like elementary school or picking numbers and whatnot. So we're going to draw a random question about the buying process out of the hat. And then we just discuss it?
Yep. We're just gonna shoot the shit on it.
That's
and
perfect.
just give the consumers the information. There I go, touching the mic again. Give the information that they need to make informed decisions of whether it's the right time to buy, what to do in a certain situation, or what real estate agent to choose. Because I think there were some questions in there of like, how do I pick a real estate agent?
Right. What should you look for?
Yeah.
No, that's extremely intelligent way to process it, because there are so many questions, and a lot of it, when you look at the end user and you look at how they're going through the process, they don't even know what questions to ask.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, they're like, oh, I mean, their reviews look decent.
Yep.
They've had some recent sales on Zillow. Well, does that qualify you as a decent agent?
No.
I don't know, but we're going to discuss that. Now, as we look at it from the seller perspective, we're doing the same thing, drawing questions out of a hat, right?
Yep.
So what are some, give me a little preview into some of those questions that a seller might have that we should discuss as well.
What repairs should I make to the home before I sell? What time of year should I sell?
Yeah.
And that's we'll talk about it when we get to it, but whenever you need to sell, you can sell a home.
Right. Well, and everything's so situational. There's obviously going to be optimal times to get a home listed and an optimal time to buy, and kind of those different strategies that you can use as a consumer.
Yeah.
Whether you're on one side or the other. And most people that need to sell a home, they also need to buy a home.
Yep.
So that's why if we can hit questions for both the buyers and the sellers, you know, we can hopefully bring you guys some value, and you can actually understand a little bit more about the process.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, it could be even people could listen to this in a different state. They could enjoy our conversations. We're not the smartest guys on the earth, but we
not a chance.
But we sell a lot of houses every year. And it could help someone randomly in Texas come to a decision of, I want to sell my home at this time.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Well, and it's funny because everybody talks about the locales, and when you're licensed in real estate, you're licensed for an entire state.
Yes.
That's the way it works in all 50 states. So when you do that, I don't know anything about what's happening in the Grand Rapids real estate market.
Right, yeah.
Now I can educate myself.
Oh, definitely.
We have so many tools at our disposal to go through and really determine, you know, well, not determine anything, but how we can educate ourselves.
Yeah.
And how we can then educate our clients. But ideally, every market has so hyper local, different school districts, different municipality requirements. There's just, you know, values could be this price on one side of the street, and then you cross over to the other side of the street, you're in a different municipality, and the values could be different by 20, 30, 40% sometimes.
100%. Yep.
You know, which is really interesting. And that's where our expertise and our time in the market really comes into play.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately our goal is just to give you guys a little bit of an education.
Definitely.
You know, in maybe entertain you a little bit.
A little bit.
Because we do all have a little bit of, we have our own anecdotal stories and things that we've experienced in our time. And we haven't been agents for 20, 30 years.
Right.
But we've been in for multiple years, and we've really enjoyed the process. And I think for both of us, it kind of scratches that ADHD itch that we have.
Yes.
Because there's no two deals that are ever alike.
Yep.
Everything is different. You have different personalities. You have different types of homes. There's a lot of variety to it.
Yeah.
And for me, I need that. I need that variety in my life, because I can't just go sit in a cubicle farm and type away on a computer all day.
No. And that kind of leads me into maybe what we can kind of build a little bit of rapport with the potential listeners here.
Sure.
How long have you been in real estate?
So I got licensed in 2017.
Okay.
In 2017. So I worked at a boutique brokerage after I got licensed, and then left that boutique brokerage and came over here to Remax. And it's been gangbusters. You know, we have an amazing broker in Ryan Ishu, and we have a tremendous support staff here, and it's been great.
Oh yeah.
It's been so great. How about you? When did you get licensed?
I got licensed in March of 2023, so I've been doing it for 3 years, almost fully now.
Wow.
Dove fully into being a full-time agent.
Yeah.
And I've had, I think I'm closing my 70th deal here next week or in 2 weeks, something like that. So it's been a wild roller coaster. The first 6 months were extremely slow.
Sure.
Because I didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
But once I figured it out, and we could eventually we'll probably get questions about like, oh, what's it like to be a real estate agent?
Sure.
Maybe people want to get into the industry. We can elaborate on that. We're not going to try to sell you anything.
Yeah, he might not try to sell you. I'll sell you some stuff. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll come up with something.
So that's my story. How long I've been in real estate, my production so far. So
No,
it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, and I think real estate in and of itself, you know, and we're going to get these comments and these questions like, oh, you guys are so overpaid and you're this and you're that. And you know what? Sometimes you have easy deals, but I would question you, those listeners that think that. Do you ever have an easy day at work?
Yep.
Do you feel like, well, I'm making $40 an hour. You know what? Just pay me $30 an hour this week.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty on the nose in that regard, but I mean, there's a lot of knowledge that comes with this. You're not necessarily paying for, you know, when we talk about compensation and things like that and the commissions that we earn, and our brokerage splits and whatnot. At the end of the day, some deals are easier.
Yeah.
Others are more difficult. But what you're actually getting is the service.
Yes.
And it's the point that we can get you across the finish line and navigate the legal hurdles, the municipal hurdles. We can be your advocate as well as give you the advice necessary of how we would do things.
Oh, definitely.
So there's a number of different ways to go about things. But I am excited to start this little journey with you.
I am
too.
And
really, we want to hear from you guys. We want to know what you want to hear. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, you do have a very hyper-specific question, you know, we're not going to dox you by any stretch.
Right.
But we can absolutely go through and we can try to answer your questions live. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. We have all of our contact info on the podcast right down below. And outside of that, I think we're ready to rock and roll, man.
I think we are.
All right. Well, until our actual first episode, we will see you next time. This is Straight from the Agent Podcast. Bye-bye.